Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, and Lauren. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren. And we're Cimorelli.
Welcome back to
the Cimorelli podcast. Hey, guys. Today, we are joined by our lovely associates, Ariel and Will.i.am, a.k.a.
You pointed
William.
at me.
I went that way, to
Ariel?
that side. I said Ariel and Will.i.am. My arms are not that long, Christina.
Okay, you guys know Ariel, right? You've seen her before? She's been in a couple videos.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's our longtime employee.
Employee of every month.
How long?
4.5 years.
And friend from Malibu. And then
That's so
William's
crazy.
not our friend,
Yeah.
but we know him. Just kidding.
Visits us sometimes.
We've been working with William for how long?
I don't know.
2 years?
2
Year
years
now?
in June.
Okay, 2 years in June. And he does audio, video. That's about it, right?
Many things.
Lighting.
Lots of stuff.
Lighting.
Lighting.
Ooh, yeah. We
But
can't forget about
King of
that.
lighting.
But he's here today because he did the Skin music video.
Yeehaw!
And you guys don't know he's here actually every podcast, but he's over.
He's snickering in the corner every time.
You can't see him, but we can.
We can.
So yeah, what are we doing today?
Today, as Christina said, we are talking all about the Skin music video. I almost said musicale. Anywho,
Skin
The
music.
Skin-
Wow.
It really was a
the
musical.
Skin musicale, we're going to be going through the whole thing. And we're just going to explain all the sections, kind of what they mean and things that went into them. This might take 10 years, it might not. So strap in, buddies. So if you want to see the entirety of this wonderful episode, make sure you join us on Patreon, and our lowest tier is $5 a month. And it is a great time, guys. So yeah, let's jump into the video.
All right, so of course we're going to start with the highs and lows of our week. And because it's going to be a pretty in-depth episode, we're just going to do more of like a lightning challenge.
Oh gosh.
So we're going to be like, boom, boom, high and low, move on. Okay, so who's got a high and a low? Go.
Okay, my low is I'm having a meltdown every single day. So that's pretty low for all involved.
Yes.
Literally all involved, because it's not just me, unfortunately. And my high is that during one of my meltdowns, I went for a great drive. And it was so much fun. So yeah,
Wow.
I'm a simple guy. Lots of meltdowns lately, and I gotta stop.
Okay, I'll go. My high was over the weekend. I did a lot of fun things. And my low is that yesterday I was sad.
Aww.
Okay, next.
My high is also that over the weekend I did a lot of fun things. And my
I was
low,
there.
she was there.
I forgot about that.
Wow. Fun.
And my low was that I didn't sleep because of it.
Yeah,
Mm.
not right, not right.
My high was on Sunday. We had our entire family at my house, which is
Aw.
very
Oh,
rare.
wait, that was so fun.
Yeah, I had them over for tacos for my husband's birthday. It was really fun.
Well, everyone except for Christian.
and
And Danny.
Christian and Danny couldn't be there, but they were in.
Almost everyone.
Yes,
It's crazy.
almost everyone who's like local was there.
So many people.
And then my low, I would just say, file that under existential crisis.
Oh, I get you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is that mine? No, that's not mine. Okay.
Christina's like, what if it's a
I could copy and paste Kath's kind of. That was a high. Everyone, the whole fam, and watching her son and my son, Leo and
my
Barrett.
God, that was so precious.
Best friend.
Was wild. I was like,
So
oh my
sad I
gosh,
couldn't
are we
see it.
watching future BFFs unfold
They
in
were
front
just
of our
like,
eyes?
we were.
I think we were.
Oh, so
It was.
cute.
I don't think I've seen him play like that with someone. So I was like,
They were like
That was so cool.
cackling.
low. Let's. Oh, I know what lows. I don't know how to explain it. Let's see. Low. Just like mental breakdowns, whatever. I think it's just doing too much stuff and not enough sleep, not enough rest. Too much stuff for Nick and I combined, so we both don't get to rest, and it's just like a snowball
That ain't
effect,
right. That is not right.
So bleh, we're all just kind of in that space right now because we're doing so much cool stuff, but it's like very ambitious.
It's a lot of work.
So we're all a little overwhelmed. Okay, so William, what's your high and low?
See, high, I found a missing sock. I can now match my favorite socks.
Oh, that is a high. That's a high.
And then I have a vicarious low, which is that my girlfriend was driving home from work, stuck in traffic. and there was a guy behind her laying on the horn. And she shot him a nasty look, and he got out of the car and tried to like bash in her window, just screaming at her.
God.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
I would
That's so
drop dead on the
scary.
scene.
That's my nightmare.
That's
Would
a little
blow
Did she
my
just like
mind.
drive away? How did she get?
So, like one of those like, not a party barge. What do you call it? The like trucks
The
that drive
party
around
buses?
downtown.
Like the
party buses.
woohoo, yeah.
One of those like pulled out in front between them so she could get away.
Oh,
That's
good.
really
That's
nice of
really
them.
scary.
I'm
Automatic
sorry
no.
for her.
That's why
Tell her
I
we
always
send our regards.
look the other way when I can tell someone's mad. I just go like,
Oh yeah.
because they always
Yeah,
want me
no.
to look at them too. They always want you to look at them. you
Yes,
know?
because they want that
They
attention.
wanna get more
Guys,
Investigators.
this happened to
They
me
want the
yesterday.
fight.
This truck, like,
Yeah, they're
like was like,
crazy.
"What are you doing?" And he like landed on his horse. I don't know what I did. I was stopping for someone trying to let them in, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And
What are you doing?
I just
Was he
burst
Italian?
out laughing. I was like, "Is that bad?" That was probably a pretty bad reaction. I was like, because it was just such a big reaction that I was like, I was overwhelmed.
I used to react too much, and then I realized it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like,
Dad
it's like
did
toddlers.
tell us
window.
never to
Yeah,
react.
it's like toddlers. That's a good way.
Yeah.
Of,
Yeah, my dad's
Don't
like, don't
engage.
do that. It could be really dangerous. So I realized I can't
Road
do that
rage.
anymore.
Mhm.
So thank goodness she is okay. That is
Yeah,
creepy.
that's scary.
I would burst in tears, drop dead.
I know, because you're like stuck in your car.
That's what would happen.
Oh, that's
Okay.
right. 'Cause there's another car in
Yeah,
front of
it's
you.
so scary. Okay, so
I'd be like, move, honk, honk.
so you got to go to our Patreon where we have every full episode of the podcast. We post half of every other episode only on YouTube, so go check that out. All right, ladies and William, let's get into the main topic, which is the music video. Okay,
Yeehaw.
so we're gonna go section by section. I think it's gonna be really interesting, right? I feel like we have more.
I'm intrigued.
We
I
have
feel
so
like
many things to say.
we have more interesting stuff on this one than
Any music video we've ever done?
most of our past ones, maybe even all of them, right?
Yeah.
There's just
Yes.
a lot of different things
So many
that
details.
are being shown.
I don't
in
know.
one
The
video.
Sad Girls Club toilet story was pretty.
Oh, that one was
pretty
pretty
iconic.
intense.
That might be taken-
I never
cake.
even got to tell it on the podcast.
Oh
SMH.
man.
Oh, yeah, we didn't do one about that. Okay, I think we should start with, let's say what each of our roles were. Okay, William, I feel like you know everyone's roles better than we do. What would you say everyone's roles were?
So I guess I would be the cinematographer if I shot it.
Okay,
Nice.
great.
Love it.
You'd be, I would say basically everybody at the table is a producer of some sort.
That was a
Um,
group effort
yeah.
for sure.
Sure.
I
And
would
then
say.
would say that you directed and Lauren co-directed. And then
Depending on the scene.
Yeah.
You directed
Yeah.
mine a lot
Mm.
when you got there.
Lauren is a
Yeah.
director.
Ariel did most of the, like set and production design, making all the cool doodads,
Love it.
which was a lot for this video.
Mm-hmm.
And then Amy was
We'll
like
see.
with her on that, right? On
Mhm.
some of them?
On
Yeah.
most of it, yeah.
Most of them? Okay. Team
feel
up on
like
that.
Amy also always kind of keeps the logistical train running.
do.
Like
Oh,
a bunch
yes.
of small things.
Love it.
I
My
cleaned up
nightmare, Amy does all those.
after
We have opposite
every
things.
giant mess. I cleaned up all of them. And it was fun because I hate messes.
Amy does, we were talking about this before, Amy does very like physical things. I do mostly mental things.
Yes.
So I'm like this, think, whatever, all this stuff. And then Amy's like handling all the physical stuff that is really important. So Amy's just running around doing everything.
Literally.
Amy and Ariel were really
Get a lot
like
of
keeping,
steps in.
you were like keeping the train running, I would say.
The first day, I walked 8 miles, according to my
Wow.
phone.
Oh my gosh.
Just
a
the first
lot.
day of shooting, 8 miles.
That is a lot.
And then I guess I would
Physical.
say, because I don't know, I guess you guys know more about like the writing process, but I don't know how many of the lyrics did you write, Kath? Because I know you had like the original.
She
voice
wrote the
memo.
majority of the song.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also kind of like, I guess this makes sense with that, but like sort of moral compass of it, of like redirecting us back towards like main message a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
The message police.
I feel like I threw out random things. Like I was like, guys, we need these props for Christina's scene, or like
Mhm.
we need to do this thing for Amy's where like we need the cross, and I kept like pounding it. Like we need to do this. We need to do this.
Was that in the production?
I don't even know what
category?
that was.
It might
Yeah.
be.
It was just kind of
Yeah.
like a
detail.
creative producer.
adder.
I guess.
Yeah, detail adder.
Because that was
I'm
for
gonna go with that.
producing the entire thing. Like we were all just like doing a lot of meetings of all of us together going through everything. It wasn't just like 1, 2, whatever of us. Like we all were sitting at these meetings going through every detail together on everything. So this was like very much a group effort and a collaboration. Like it was really great. Every single person in this table put so much into this.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why we're all just so proud of it and so excited about it because we put so much into
I
it.
thought you were going to say that's where I was so tired.
I will mention that the episode before this is the episode where we go into depth
Detail?
on the, that's what I meant to say, on the songwriting. So if you want to see the whole story of the song and all that, we did go into that in that video. So that podcast episode, check that out. All right, so shall we start? Let's jump into this. So we got the intro of the song. So what's the meaning? We'll go meaning and then details.
Wait, are you saying the intro meaning like the spoken word thing?
That's a good point. I forgot about that.
Wait. I didn't know. I just want to know what you meant by the intro. Because
I would say all of it's in one thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
They know the meaning of the spoken word, I would hope.
Yeah.
I hope you tell them.
Right?
Okay.
So it's like the spoken word and then the
Goes into the song.
One's gonna right? All that. That's the intro.
I love it.
Betsy's behind the camera. And she just went.
It's funny because now I know what it's like to be me, like them seeing me.
Wait, I should say,
Like, oh no.
Betsy's our sister-in-law. She's behind the camera, and
Yes, queen.
she designed the
artwork.
artwork for Skin.
Yeah.
So pretty
Bravo,
cool.
Love it.
Love
Pretty
it.
cool. Okay, so that intro. Was there any meaning we need to say? I think you guys get the meaning, so we should go to the details.
Well, you could also just say like, I think William wrote half of it and I wrote the other half. Is that right?
Did I write any of it? I made like suggestions at some point, but I don't know.
But that thing
Who
in the
wrote
end,
it?
how the
Okay.
things are layered.
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
you
yeah.
came up with that.
You wrote a piece, you sent a piece, and then I took it and then pieced together and added a few things and changed a few
Okay, yeah.
things. So
It was like us three. Okay.
It was a collab.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Okay, so here's some questions. Whose skin did we use?
My
Oh, yeah, I was
freckled
wondering
arm.
that.
You know whose skin
Full
is in
on
the
Yeah.
display.
More than I know whose skin is in the intro.
Yeah, basically them two.
Oh,
Amy and
yeah.
Lauren.
I
Nice
did
arm
recognize
hair.
Cricket
Lauren.
finger.
The needles was my blood thinner from pregnancy 2 years ago. Is that 2 years? Yeah. So that's interesting. I saved. I still have it. I didn't really save it. I just didn't dispose of anything yet. So just in my bathroom. So
Cool.
I was like, maybe
Which
we'll
was
use this
helpful.
for something.
I mean, and we did.
In the hands passing was Ariel and me.
The hands. You were the hands?
I had a glove on
What? I didn't even know that.
Wow.
Why do I not remember
Sick.
that?
because we were delusional.
You guys were
We were
filming.
feeling
I
all-
remember that. That was like the very last thing that we filmed. I was just sitting there taking it in. It was funny.
Amy sat under Lauren's chair and.
Well, that's
That's the
I'm
first
kind of into the first
Christina?
verse. I messed that up in the notes.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
I feel like that's about it for the intro. Let's go to the next
Yeah,
part.
it's not that deep.
Okay, so first verse. This is when each of us has our own little thing in like the whitish grayish room, right? What is the meaning of us sitting there?
Well,
pressure.
Yes.
Didn't William come up with this part? Did you?
I don't remember who came up with it.
I have no idea.
It was so long ago at this
surgery
point.
Stuff? I thought he did.
So long ago.
I just remember seeing the treatment and being like,
Well,
oh. But
I
don't
know you guys definitely had the like inspiration pictures and artwork of like plastic surgery stuff or like
yeah.
Oh,
hair
yeah.
and makeup people swarming you, all that kind of thing.
The pressure to change yourself to the current beauty standards that are ridiculous, impossible, blah blah, whatever. This is that's what it's supposed to be, and also, so it's in different ways. It's like the pressure to like change your face to all the current trends and whatever's supposed to be quote acceptable, and then change your face, change your body, and then Amy's is like buying stuff like
Consumerism.
Consumerism. There was like shapewear in that. It's like just how you have to fit into this impossible mold that you're never going to fit into. So it's just that constant pressure you feel to be something that you're not and you never will be. That is wrong to put on every
And
woman.
expensive.
Yeah.
Wrong and expensive.
People
Yeah.
will become broke
There's way too
Forever.
much. Yeah, there's way too much pressure.
and addicted.
Yeah, we really wanted to get that across, specifically the pressure on women to conform to standards.
Okay, so on Amy's like shapewear in her part, Ariel made these tags that you guys don't see, but we need to read them in this. Like read one of them and tell them what it says because she like custom made these
I know.
and they're really funny.
Okay. So my inspiration was kind of Sad Girls Club video
Oh, yeah.
inspiration of like the 1950s housewife toxic messaging
Yes.
situation. So the name of the company, Catherine named it. It's called You Covered.
I love it.
So one of the tags says, tight tummy. As women, your goal should be to look perfectly snatched and under control at all times. Ate a big meal? Nobody should know. Had a child? You should look like you had liposuction. This short will be your secret weapon when it comes to looking desirable.
That's really
That's
Yeah, I was
wild.
like cackling when she was sending us all these things.
I
she
was
writing.
cackling.
It was so
Ariel's
funny.
creativity was flowing.
Love that. We get to the pre, so this is where we see Lauren. So the whole time we see her, and I feel like people might want to know like the meaning of this one. If you were talking about it's like a double meaning.
Yeah.
way.
So this one, yeah, it is a double meaning because it's like the perfect face on one half and then the like smeared makeup on the other half. So like the first meaning is just like trying to look like you have everything together when it's like you don't, you're like falling apart on the inside. But then also it's representing SA with like the smeared makeup and trying to like act like everything's fine when you're so like broken from that happening to you.
It's like a physical thing of like physically being smeared, but then also like as if that's
Emotionally.
as if
Yeah.
it's emotionally smeared behind the scenes of your brain, really.
Yes.
So it's those two things, which is interesting. I love that part. I feel like it's so powerful. The pre's are just like, they just get me.
They really
Even
do.
though everyone told me I looked like the Joker when we were filming, it was like,
I
okay.
didn't say that.
It was probably her.
I didn't say that, did I?
Okay. No one said
I
it.
wasn't trying to be mean. I thought it was
was
supposed to
me.
look like theatrical. I wasn't trying to
It
be
is kind of.
I thought I was like, it looks good.
Okay,
It looks
guys, it's not
theatrical.
that deep.
So we have the first chorus. So this is where we're like fighting off and like, and it's like, oh, mama's good. Right?
Yeah.
So this is where I would say it symbolizes like, you're like, the pressure is on you. Everyone's trying to change you is kind of what's happening there. They're like, you need to look like this. You need to be like that. You need to change this, change that. This is unacceptable. That's wrong, blah, blah. And you're like, no, I don't want to be forced into this. I don't want to be changed. I want to be myself, basically. I want to love and accept myself. And we're like trying to break out of that. But it's like society, the beauty industry. I don't know who else we can blame. All these other people. Those are the people that are like the hands, basically, I would say. They're trying to be like, no, you need to listen to me and conform to these changing standards that are always different trends that you can never keep up with because they're always changing. Just look at eyebrows is a great example.
Yeah.
Which I keep seeing thin eyebrows
I
recently.
know they're coming
know.
back. Scary.
No.
And they
It's
had
scary.
the thickest eyebrows for a second there. Anyway, just saying. If you, good luck to you if you got rid of your eyebrows or if you got like an eyebrow transplant. I don't think it's a thing, but if you did and it's all thick, good luck to you then because now it's thin. See what I'm saying? See it?
You're right.
You're right.
That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, I don't think there's much to say in that part. There's a lot more in the rest of the video, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot more
for sure.
details.
I feel like there was a lot of like choreography that went into like
Oh my gosh.
what's
yeah, there
happening
was
when with
a
the
lot.
hands.
That's
And I also
true.
thought it was funny that most of you were like, no, like hit me, grab me, or whatever. Like, which
Yeah.
helps for getting in the headspace, but
Because
I
it
don't
helped a
Well,
lot.
because she's being too gentle. I'm like, if I'm trying to like push you away, you can't be
know.
like,
Right.
It comes back to I didn't want to hurt you guys, even
No,
though
I
I knew what we
know,
were
I
going
know,
for.
I know.
But I think now that I've seen it, it looks
Yeah.
It's
really
easier
good. Like
to
it was
react
worth
to
it,
when
but
it's more forceful.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. We were like, you pull, you grab, you put your hand here, blah, blah, blah. It was very
we were
choreographed.
counting,
Yeah.
staring at each other from across whoever we were filming with to figure it all out.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so we go into the second verse.
well, wait. Then there's the oh whoa section though, which is a
Yes,
little
yes.
different.
Good
Where
point.
that's like the lighting changes and it kind
Yes.
of gets closer on us, right?
Yeah.
It's
And
slow-mo.
it's like that's supposed to be like the interior world of you like screaming for help of how you feel with all of that pressure on you.
Yeah, it's like on the outside, you may look all great because you put all this effort into your appearance. And it's like, oh, you look better. You must be happier. It's kind of like the implication there. You look good. You must feel great. You must like feel happier than if you hadn't looked like this. But then it's like you're really screaming on the inside, like, I don't want to be under all this constant pressure. Like, why can't it be enough to just have my lips how they are? Why can't I just have my body be how it is? Why do I have to look like I never had a child? Why is that illegal in your world? Why can't I age? Why am I not allowed to get older? Stuff like that, you know? Anyway, so let's go to the second verse. Second verse. So we each have our vignettes. It's not a word I would ever use.
I was gonna say, that's
Williams'
Williams.
Yeah, this is what
Well,
Williams.
you know.
It's maybe it's like some, I don't know, is that a technical thing or is that a you thing or a both?
No,
thing?
Or a film
that's a
thing?
technical
No, I'm just
thing.
I
asking.
think it's like kind of a technical thing.
I felt like it was a
Kind
technical
of a
thing, but I didn't know if it was. Okay, it's not a word that I would use, but I'm using it because he always used that to describe it. So just know that. So
Just know it.
yeah, if you're like,
In your
why is
heart, just know it.
okay, whatever. Okay, so each of us has different one. We'll go through each one. So mine was postpartum depression. Hopefully you could tell. I feel like I wouldn't have known that when I was younger. I wouldn't have known.
Yeah,
what
if
that
you're like a
was.
young kid watching this, I feel like it would be kind of confusing.
You
Yeah,
just
I
be
don't think I
like,
would've known.
oh, she's having a hard time.
Yeah.
And she
Sad
has a
and
baby.
Or they'd be like, why is she sad when she has a baby?
Yeah.
Well,
Why is she
yes.
sad?
So mine was postpartum depression. Something I experienced both times after I gave birth, aka postpartum. And interesting thing was we used my real hospital bracelet. I still had it from Tristan. So that was kind of cool. I was wearing that. And then I also used the real hospital like blanket and beanie on that baby. That was the real one from, I can't remember if it was Tristan's or Barrett's, but it's from one of their births. And Kath and I brought a bunch of stuff from our real postpartum experience. And
Oh yeah, I felt bad because I thought of that at the last minute, and I could see Ariel's panic. Ariel's like, "You want to add more props?" And I was like, "No. I will take care of it. I will put
And
it
she
all,
did.
I'll put it all together. I put it in a basket. She grabbed it on the way, and then I took it home.
It was like the day that I was going to set up
I
her
felt bad,
scene.
but I was like, "We need this."
No,
But it
was so
worked out.
good.
It was totally worth it, and
was
it all worked
so
out. But in the moment, I was like,
I was so glad that you thought it was literally the last second. She's like, "Hey guys, let's add in like 50 different things." But I was like, "You're right. We weren't gonna have anything." I don't know why I didn't think of that in the room. So we added in our real stuff, and I feel like, don't you feel like that made it so much better having all that
Oh, yeah.
stuff? I'm like,
sure.
what would we have done if we didn't have that? It looks so much better with it.
Yeah.
So that was cool that it was all just real stuff. Like none of it was like
I literally just
Random
grabbed
thing.
my like bottles and all this baby stuff that I had upstairs.
there's like a pump in there, a pump, part of the pump. Did you put that in?
Yeah.
baby blanket.
Shout out
that was
to
mine.
all the pumping moms.
Yes, I see you. Been there.
I can't really say that. I pumped like twice, but I hear that it is absolutely exhausting and like draining to the core.
To the core, yeah.
The
it is.
few times I did it, I was like, I do not love this. So shout out to you. Dedication if you had to pump a lot. Okay. Symbolism. Okay. Here's the thing, guys. So there was a, shall we say, mobile.
How do you pronounce
We haven't
this
agreed on it.
word?
We
have
looked
no
this
clue.
up and found it's like more of like a regional thing, I guess. Like we didn't know how to pronounce
Baby-
pronounce
I feel like it's
MOBILE.
mobile.
It's the thing that hangs over a crib and it has
Like
toys
cute
hanging
little
off it.
things.
What would you say?
I think it's mobile.
That's
Oh,
what
I
I
think
was
it's
thinking.
Mobile. Wait, I misspoke. Mobile. Because I feel like mobile and mobile are like if something can move.
I was gonna say mobile.
It
but
does
that's
move
probably wrong.
though.
Yeah.
It does.
It
Well,
does
it should
move.
move.
It does move,
does
so it's a
move, yeah.
mobile.
I
It's a
don't
mobile-
know. Who could ever know?
Mobile
that just
mobile.
feels
Baby
the most
M.
wrong.
Yeah, every time we had to say like, oh, so how's the
Spinning thing. We'll just call it
working?
that.
Arrow and I back and forth like yeah.
The crypt decoration.
We need to talk about the 4 things on that. So
Whose
I
idea? That was that your?
I
that
picked
was
these
such a
out.
cool idea.
think you had the idea of doing it, and then I picked the things,
Yeah.
right? He had a really cool idea for you. Didn't you say the original one was a big one, right? That was over.
Yeah, it was
me.
a- yeah.
Huge.
Oh,
You're gonna have to
Oh,
make it out of
that's
plywood.
Cool.
Yeah, one over me. I didn't want to say the word. A mobile over me, which is such a cool idea. We just didn't know how we were going to pull that off, so we got one with symbolic stuff on it. So here are the 4 things. So we did a tape measure, which I would say when I was picking it, I was thinking like it's like I don't measure up, number 1, but also the physical measurements of how your body is different postpartum. So feeling like you don't measure up and noticing how different your body is postpartum. Then there was the cup, which was poured out. So it's like I'm pouring from an empty cup. I'm empty. I've poured everything out. I've given everything. I feel like there's nothing left to give. Then there was
The clock.
the clock. And that was just like, I don't feel like I have enough time. Time is running out. It's just like, you just feel like you can never get enough time as a mom. It's like, because you're caring for your children 24/7. It's like, I have no time for me anymore. So time, a big thing. And you're constantly watching the clock. When did I last feed? When did they wake up from their nap? When's their next nap? When's the blah, blah, blah. What? on and on and on and on. Just a lot of watching the clock. Was there another one or was it a toy?
It was the pill bottle.
The pill bottle. So that was representative of medication, right? It's going to be a few things. Number one, you often take medication postpartum because you may have a lot of pain. I was sent home with some strong medication. I didn't actually take it because I was like scared. So I was just sitting there in a lot of pain. But you can be sent home with medication and also could symbolize like depression, antidepressants, depression medication as well, or anxiety. Another thing, postpartum anxiety. So I think that's all the things from mine that were pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Lawrence.
What?
Oh,
I think,
you have another? Okay.
Yeah, I think the stuff with the mirrors is
Oh,
cool and appropriate.
that was
Partly,
cool.
Are we touching on that later, though?
Oh, wait,
When
but
we
that's in
see
a
it?
later section, so we can wait till then.
We're going section
Right?
by
well, they get
section.
but the shots of you reflected in the mirrors are all in this section.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Go on.
Which I feel like it's partly like, like self-image or body image stuff. I just clapped under the table. Sorry. And then also I think there's a little bit of like, to me, it felt like being suddenly like secondary in your own life. Like you're no longer, like you aren't the most important thing in your life once you have a child. So
Yes.
you're like a reflection.
So symbolic.
I love it.
Everything
So many symbols.
everything
It
for this
is.
video, we're like, ooh, this could symbolize this.
You can literally
and
just
also
pause
this.
every frame of this video and be like, symbol.
Yeah.
There was
There's so
We
many.
got into our symbols, guys.
So Lawrence. So the meaning was essay.
Yeah, that's
meaning?
like the portrayal of this vignette.
It was in a barn.
Yeah,
It's
which I don't think I thought of this when we were initially doing it, but I thought of it afterwards, how like it felt like we didn't just do it in like a room in a house. It was in
Yeah.
like a remote location,
Mhm.
which I
Oh.
think symbolized isolation, actually. And then like being alone in the room, isolation. And then the black handprints. Those, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious, but also I think that symbolizes two things, which number one is like kind of feeling like tainted and like marked and like this is just who I am, this is me. Like you look at yourself and that's what you see. But then also like situations where it's like everyone knows what happened and you feel like that's all people see when they look at you is like you're marked, and like especially situations where it's like everyone knows what happens and people blame you or see you as like less than because of that.
Also for the hand prints, it's interesting because it's like this it's like pain is normally not something you can like see, emotional pain. Sometimes you can, but that's like an invisible thing, but it's like we're putting this visible thing on this invisible thing. So I think that's interesting that you're mentioning that because it's like the mark. There's like the mark that's left on you that people either, it's like can see and can't see. It's like they can't see how much pain or how much you've been hurt or what's happened to you, but also all they see is this thing that you don't want to remember that people may be shaming you about or whatever. So I think, that part is very powerful, and it even just hurts just to look at that.
It does.
Yeah.
Just to look at the handprints just really hurts because it's such a reminder of something that is invisible normally, that we're putting this like visible aspect, we're adding that into it. And I think that's really important for a lot of people to see who have experienced this. I think to feel seen also in a way from about something that is so like invisible. So what was the other thing you were
And
gonna say?
then I think the last thing about it is like the trash on the floor where it's kind of like dirty and grimy. And I think that kind of represents like how you feel about yourself and feeling like worthless, used, discarded. Like I am just like trash because that's how someone treated me.
Just like I'm among the trash. I am just
Oh, I hate
Yeah.
that.
I just can't.
It's so sad.
On a lighter note, the window behind you
Oh yeah.
was from
It's
Sad
from
Girls
Sad
Club.
Girls Club.
Yeah,
Which is
It's one
weird.
of the ones we hung in like the living room.
Also, when we did the handprints, that was Ariel putting it on me. And then she's like doing the one on my neck. She's like, I'm so sorry. I have to do this. I'm so sorry. And I was like, just stop talking about it. I don't want to think about it. Just do it.
So sorry.
Oh.
We love empathy.
Oh, yeah.
That was
That is a rough one. Amy didn't even come in and look at it.
No, I
you
Yeah, she
stayed.
was not in the
I was
room.
like, well, I had a lot of work to do cleaning up after
No,
you.
but you didn't
Yeah.
want to look.
I was
But
so
I also
helpful.
was like, I don't want to look
Well,
at this.
yeah, and
Like,
I
I
didn't
don't wanna
want
see
a bunch
this.
of spectators.
Yeah,
It was
I
kinda-
knew that should not be spectated.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that was an interesting thing.
Respect.
Yours and mine, it's like felt weird to have anyone like watching. which
Yeah,
is
like
awkward.
everyone
I
who
think
was
they
in
all
the room.
feel weird to have people
was
watching.
like-
especially
Well, it's a
y'all.
little weirder for
Yeah.
certain things.
Yeah, because everyone in the room, especially on those, was very like
Ooh.
quiet
Ooh.
and like not making jokes. We're like, guys, we really need to like
Yes.
Yeah,
and not have like extra people in the room
And
to really like
yeah.
get into the feeling.
yeah. And when I feel, I make jokes, so I
So that ain't it.
be there making
Wait.
jokes.
Also, I forgot to say that we made a playlist for yours before we
Oh,
started
yeah.
filming the beginning.
I kept being like, we need a different song. We need this song. I needed to keep music going the whole time so I didn't come out of it and start making a bunch of jokes.
yeah,
And I didn't really like smile the whole time. I was just like,
it's hard.
stayed.
trying to not do it because I was then going to get into making jokes mode. So it's like, don't do
Exactly.
that. Don't make
Yeah.
jokes or else you're not going to be able to stay in the emotion.
Yeah.
Let's go to Kath's. You want to talk about the meaning of yours?
Yeah. I'm trying to think, was that your idea, the visual aspect of it? Or was it?
I don't
I think it was a group.
really
Was
think
it a
so.
group thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
effort.
remember where that originated from. I just wanted to give credit wherever that belongs. But mine was basically supposed to be visual. Well, there's multiple layers to mine, but at the core of it, it's a visual representation of like an eating disorder, which is something that I've personally battled with for 10 years. And I really wanted that in the video because I think that's such a huge part of the song, especially in the first verse. And body image in general, even if you don't have a full-blown eating disorder or had one, I think that that's something that a lot of people can relate to is just feeling like,
Probably all people.
yeah, everyone,
I would
I would
guess.
say most people, yeah, like really uncomfortable in your body or just it's not good enough. You're always striving. That was something that I really like wanted to come across. I feel like we talked about this a few times in like meetings. Like there was a few ideas for scenes of like, oh, I'm like sitting and reading a diet book or whatever. And I was like, no, I want my scenes to be very action oriented because I think that's very representative of an eating disorder.
Yeah.
That and also just body image in general, that you have this like anxious energy of constantly striving and like so I'm like on the exercise bike in mine, I'm like sorting foods, like there's like action in mine because it just felt more appropriate for that.
Yeah.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, I actually like emotionally shut down as soon as I walked in the room, which is kind of weird because it was kind of lighthearted. Like Ariel did an amazing job on all the props, and there's all these like diet pill bottles. There's all these books, and they all have like she made all the tiles and stuff, and a lot of them are very funny and lighthearted. But it is like a very serious thing,
Oh, yeah.
you know. Like it's funny. Like I actually making jokes at the end because I was so uncomfortable. But in the beginning, I like immediately was like, oh my gosh, like sorry, like I just like felt like I was back in my old mind in a way, and I just like I just had to like sit there and like just kind of stare into space because I was like, I can't, like this is really, I knew it was going to be really hard for me to be in that scene, but I didn't know that it was going to be that hard. It was really, really hard for me. So I just kind of sat on the exercise bike and I was just kind of like trying to like zone out because I was really triggered the whole time. But then in the end, I just kind of just was disassociating a little bit and just started like making jokes more just to kind of get through it. But yeah, I hope that scene is really powerful for anyone. I feel like people that have had eating disorders or maybe are currently in that will immediately know exactly. Did I talk about this food sorting thing?
Yeah, you can talk about it.
Yeah, because so that was actually one of my ideas, like a visual representation of orthorexia, which is like the main part of my eating disorder, which is like obsession with clean eating and like to the point where it's like takes over your mind. So the part you'll see in the video is pretty quick, but I thought of that part. It was like a visual representation of orthorexia, which is like my main eating disorder, I guess. And I'm sitting on the floor and there's like food on different sides. One is like good foods. I kind of wanted more words, but we just kind of did good and bad. But like another, safe foods are on one side. So that's like, quote, healthy foods. And then the other side of the line is unhealthy, bad, foods, whatever. And then I'm sitting there and you can't see this, unfortunately, in the video, but I'm holding a bar of dark chocolate and I want it to be dark chocolate because I was like, I feel like this is a great example of the mind of an eating disorder where you're like, is this food good or bad? It has health benefits, but it also has sugar. What do I do? And you're just like wrestling yourself.
yeah.
So it feels like weird because I feel like in the video, it just looks like I'm holding a chocolate bar and someone might be like, well, why would you be? I don't know. But hopefully if someone sees that,
I
maybe
think
they
if
would
you
get
know,
it.
you
Yeah,
know.
If you know,
Yeah,
you
if you
know.
know, you know.
But yeah, that part was really, also the part that that they'll see it where the pill bottles. I thought that was really cool how you shot that with like the pill bottles falling. You want to talk about like what you did for that?
I can talk about. It's in the chorus
That's
though.
later.
When you're dumping them out.
When I was dumping them on the ground and he had that cool lens and he was on the ground like going up, that was really cool.
The start of the second.
Yeah, that's in the chorus, so we can.
Oh, is that in the
We'll get
chorus?
to it.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that
We'll
was
get
just
to
my
it.
scene.
So on the pill bottles, you want to say some of the labels that you made?
I'd be honored.
gosh.
Out
Oh,
of
the books,
all
please.
of, I can do some of the books. Out of all the labels, they were the most just like subtle. But
I totally burned myself hot gluing them on.
yeah, a real champ.
I thought I was taking glue off my finger, but it was skin.
Oh my gosh.
So
Oh my
the
god.
first one I made was called Skinny Pro. And the RX number is the date skin came out. So I think
I
that's
love it.
kind of fun and
my
cool.
gosh.
And then the instructions say take 3 capsules by mouth a day until your waist reaches 23 inches.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh.
And then another one, this one's just Smile Mine. And the RX is the same, but a different year. And then it says, take 5 capsules by mouth a day for an always smiling face.
Oh, I love it. And we sorted all the pills by color. And then you couldn't
Because-
even see it
Because
the labels covered all of
so
them. You
mad.
couldn't even
I
see
told
it.
you guys that was gonna happen. You still did it. I don't know why you didn't.
Listen,
I must
no
have
one
missed
told
that.
me
I
that.
I
must
was
have
like,
missed
you
it.
won't see this with the labels. You won't see
Oh,
it.
no, that I knew, but I was like, but William wants me to sort them, so I will sort them. And I sorted them, and then I was like, I'm not doing
you can kinda
anymore.
see, I twisted some of the bottles. So
Yeah.
You can see
I,
on the
it
sorting board.
wasn't that
And
long
now-
to sort them, but I was like,
But I was just annoyed.
pink, blue, pink.
Oh my
And
gosh.
then,
There's so
okay.
many too.
We have the books. I'll just
Oh,
read a
the
couple.
books.
Fat Be Gone,
And you and Lord and I sat there sticking them on with tape in the living room.
10 pounds in 10 days.
That is
I
wild.
swear that's a real article right there.
I'm pretty sure it is.
No, it's more like 50 pounds in 1
Yeah.
minute.
Oh, well,
it's like
we-
Woman's World magazine or whatever in the grocery store.
So true. Conceal, Don't Feel, Why Elsa Knows Best.
Oh, I love it.
Get Skinny Quick. Big Smile, Small Waist. And then people are commenting a lot on the Hit the Quan book. I have a couple inside joke, like Sim Fam ones in there.
Oh, I love it.
And that's the one that's been getting the most comments so far is Hit the Quan. And then we also have You're Not Worth It, You Are Not Enough,
Ooh,
Do Not
that's
Believe
sad.
in You.
It's like the anti-Cimorelli
Wait, that's funny, 'cause
titles.
That's,
That's
like
wild.
a real
Do
book
not.
title is Believe
Yeah.
in You.
Do not believe in you.
That was wild.
Okay,
Good one.
cool.
That really added a
I love
lot.
it.
That was cool.
Interesting.
That was fun.
So then we have Amy's.
Yes, we do.
What's the meaning of yours?
Well, the meaning is we were trying to physically not explain, what is the word?
Represent?
Represent.
Express.
Yes,
Portray.
a visual representation of anxiety. So basically, we set sail. William and I, we set sail on an adventure to figure out how to portray our minds, basically.
Oh.
And we came up, I kind of was like, I can't hear. I was mad trigged, so I just like couldn't hear. So we who could ever know, came up with the idea that the best way to physically represent it, like the pressure of being on top of everything and feeling like you have to be perfect all the time, was to kind of build this whole thing with all these boxes and these trash and like different, or not trash, but like a ton of different
Papers.
papers and
Mail.
yes, and like
Magazines.
to-do lists
Clocks.
and reminders and clocks. And
Phones.
we took all
Makeup.
these like clocks and timepiece things. Like we had a what is like the sand timer just
dial?
randomly sitting in the room, and I was like, this would be perfect.
I love the same.
I went and found all of our little clocks in the room and we put them all on the desk, which is not like, it wasn't scary, but it was a little scary sitting on there because I was like, there's so much stuff. I don't know. I was literally, I've never been more trigged by a setting in my life because it was so messy. My the OCD gods were really striking.
They were
me
really
with
winning.
lightning. I was sitting there and I was like, I need
See,
to get
that's
out.
interesting
I
that
need to
your
get cleaned.
your
I need
scene
to get
was
this
like
cleaned.
perfectionism, but it was a messy scene. That's really
Yes, because
interesting.
it's so messy. The mind of a perfectionist is an absolute mess.
Nightmare.
It's a hoarder's house.
True.
And I feel like it was also extremely easy in a way because I just got to be how I always feel. So I was like, this takes all the pressure off because usually I feel a lot of pressure to not act how I feel because I feel like that. But I got to act how I feel in that scene. So I was like, okay, that actually makes it easier because I can just be how I am instead of having to force myself to do a bunch of mental gymnastics to not feel like that. You know?
Did you
So
say
that
it's
was
like
nice.
the pressure? Like all the stuff there's like the pressure to get everything done, be everything, be perfect, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
It's
to
like,
look
there's like
perfect.
some makeup. Yeah, there's
I
like,
had to do my makeup and think, I look so ugly. I look so ugly. I look so ugly. I was like, yep, nah.
What-
It was very, well, I was like, yeah, that happens. I'm like, that's more my like mental makeup is I look ugly.
well, that's basically what it was.
Yeah.
This was your mental makeup.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
juggling phones was such a cool idea. I loved that.
Yeah, I feel like that was like trying to be there for everyone all the time, trying to like, oh, you need this, you need that, you need that. Okay, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here.
Do you have anything to add? I feel like you understand this setting better than
I mean, some
do,
of the
at
like,
least I don't.
is cameo the right word for it? But there's like a little bit of
There's
stuff.
cameos.
Oh,
Chad
Yeah,
on the
there's
magazine.
lots of details in Amy's. That
So many
guaranteed
paper
people are gonna
details.
miss.
Yeah.
So many
Guaranteed.
details.
A lot of crazy mantras written over and over again on paper.
Yeah, Ariel made individual magazine covers.
Oh, those
For
are
each
fun.
one of
For
us.
all of
Everyone.
us, one of Chad, one of Lisa,
Lisa, Barrett,
one of William,
William.
one of her, and they're all under the
They're
title
hysterical.
Money Magazine.
I was
Money.
cracking myself up at
They
8
were
a.m.
so
on a Monday, just
funny.
photoshopping all of these together.
And then we like stuck them on a bunch of Betsy's magazines.
Which I'll put these on Patreon. You'll get the
Yes.
exclusive on the magazine.
yeah, we should just upload
Okay.
a bunch
I feel like
of
we'll
the,
give
like,
them everything.
Yeah, we could just put all the like paper stuff on there. They can just
Yeah.
peruse.
You'll
Yeah,
have
that would be really cool for you guys to
albums.
see.
That would be
'Cause
really
there's-
fun.
Literally dozens and dozens of pieces of paper
So many
that you won't see.
Yeah, we
that
had
we
to get it
worked
all
on.
printed at the home, not the home, the Office
At the
Depot.
Office Depot.
We got it printed at the Home Depot? No, at Office Depot.
Okay, should we go to second pre then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not really much to say of the second pre. It's just depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. You guys get the meaning. It's pretty easy to tell.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy one. Let's go to second course. So we have meaning of the mirror thing. You want to talk about that? My mirror part in second course?
Yeah.
That was your idea.
Yeah, I've always, I mean, like, I don't know, mirrors are cool, which is
I
kind
love
of a silly thing to say, but I think one of the coolest things about mirror is that they reflect light. I mean, that's how they work, right? It's like when you're seeing your reflection in the mirror, you're seeing like the light bouncing off of the mirror. And so the idea of like using the mirrors to light a dark place, like the reversal of taking whatever is like weighing you down and instead using it to lift yourself up, like rebuilding your self-image. I guess.
I love that. I didn't even know that.
It was like putting
I didn't know that was
the lights like going like bounce, bounce, and then it's like go
Oh,
on
that's
me,
so
and it's
cool.
kind of like
love it.
putting the like focus back on yourself because especially like as a mom, especially in postpartum depression, as a mom, you can like completely abandon yourself, and it's easier to do when you have a baby because you have something to focus on 24/7. So you can just completely forget anything. To do anything for yourself. I remember at one point when this never happens to me. I know this happens to a lot of people in their depression in general, but this never happens to me where you realize like, I haven't brushed my teeth or showered and it's been a couple days. That has never happened to me ever in my life. I will always brush my teeth and shower, but that happened to me in postpartum with Barrett. And I was like, this is not right. This is not normal. This is not me. So that's kind of an example of how you can just not do anything. Not think about yourself, not do one thing for you. So that mirror part was like, I'm putting the focus back on me, which is a really important part for healing in postpartum depression. Then we had Amy knocking over everything.
That was fun. Until I had to look at it afterwards. But while I was doing it, that was really fun.
Until you had
to
to
like,
look at
knock
it.
things over and feel like getting my anxiety out, which is really fun because I feel like it's such a physical feeling.
Oh yeah,
To like be able to destroy things was like a really good outlet for it.
the meaning for all of them together was kind of the same thing, which was just that we were all kind of we're like in our, I don't know, what would you say, like trauma, toxic, whatever it is, during the verse and the pre, I guess. And then in the chorus, we're like breaking out. It's kind of like, in a way, it's hope, but it's also like just expression in general. Because
Well, it's like starting to empower yourself of like,
You're like,
I don't
wait a
have
minute.
to do this.
It's empowering. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You're like, wait a minute. And you're like, you're taking an action that is contrary to like where you were, like sinking into the grave, basically, the depths of darkness, the ditch on the side of the road, doggy padding in the toilet. Doggy paddling in the toilet, as I like to say. It was basically that, and you're like, wait a minute. I don't belong here. That's kind of what the chorus is, that moment where you're like, wait a minute. Because that's kind of how it goes, right? Where you're like, you're in the depths of your depression or whatever it is, and you have this moment where you're like, wait a minute. It's normally not something that happens to you. It's normally like you
Realize
have to have, maybe something happens and then you realize, but the realization has to happen to get out of these things.
Yeah.
If you never have the realization, you just kind of stay in that same place forever. That's at least my experience. Every time I've come out of a very dark place, I have this realization.
Yeah, also it's the physical representation of having to tear everything down in order to rebuild from a healthy place. You have to tear down all the stuff that you've accrued over the years mentally and physically sometimes.
And I think the symbolism of my section there was specifically about like finding your voice.
Speaking up.
When you've been like voiceless. And like we specifically chose the lyrics, I'm more than hurt, I'm seen and known. Or you are more than hurt, you're seen and known. You're more than what's under your clothes. Like to really like scream that part. And that's when we turn on like the big fan with the wind machine to kind of show like how powerful that is to actually like empower yourself and find your voice in that situation.
Yeah.
And too, a detail on that is we put her handprints on at the beginning of the day and we never touch them up. So you watch them fade throughout the day as she kind of like gets her voice and goes through to the freedom and breaking free, is that the handprints slowly like become kind of like crumbly looking almost and like dusty.
That's cool.
Which I feel like was a cool choice.
That's all your same thing. We're all just, yours and hers are actually kind of similar because you're also like yelling out in yours.
Is that the part where I throw the pills?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
I love it.
Yours are similar in a way. It's interesting because they're not the same thing.
It was
at
like
all,
we're
but they're interesting.
accessing anger, I feel like.
Yes.
Yeah.
And anger, I think a lot of people, especially women, it's like we're discouraged from feeling anger, but
you should be
a lot of
mad.
times,
Yeah.
if there's been an injustice in your life, your body,
Yes.
to you, or just in all these different ways, you need to access anger to fight and like find
And
freedom.
to heal, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing. Not that you should get stuck in anger because that can become bitterness, but like you need to feel it to move through and find freedom.
So it's
And express it.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
right.
it's getting in touch with that repressed voice inside that's kind of always there. It never dies, but it's like you're pushing it down, like, don't talk, don't say anything, don't feel this, whatever. And you're like, no, I'm letting it come out. That's what that part is, which I love.
I love that,
Love. So then we go into the flowers enter.
Oh, I love that.
Okay, I want to say something really quick about this part just because I feel like this is the thing that I kept driving home. And I feel like we talked about this symbolism a lot. It's so important. And just the contrast of like the beginning to the end was jarring. But I know for me, at least, maybe you guys have, other points of view, but like, I know I really wanted this whole section to be like, to survivors, there's hope on the other side. It doesn't mean like we're all healed and perfect and everything's perfect. It's just like, I don't know. I just think that's so important to see someone who's in your situation and be like, just to have this hope, like it's not always going to be this way. There's something on the other side for you, like to keep going for and just keep like go through it because there's something waiting for you.
Yeah, and also with like the flowers growing in all of those dark places, like I really wanted us with this video to show like there's healing for you right where you are. Like you don't have to change to deserve healing. Like you can start healing right where you are right now in this dark place. And it's just like little things at a time until it's like suddenly the whole thing is covered in flowers.
Yeah.
So that's like the story, the progression of the story, basically. We're showing us there. Then we're showing like that point where we have this realization. We are deciding something in our minds. Like, I don't want to be like this. I don't want my life to be like this, whatever it is. I want to say something. I want to do something. And then it's like the physical kind of manifestation of that is like the flowers start to, and the moss, whatever the heck is in there, starts to like blossom, bloom, whatever. It all comes out and it's right where you are because you don't change when you look different, are different, have all these different things. It's this thing that it always comes like from within, from hope, I would say faith in God, but it's like this hope that changes everything. And that's what the flowers are supposed to be showing. We were saying hope and healing.
Yeah, we kept saying what was hope, healing, and empowerment.
That's our message.
And I think too, another theme that we have is like we're kind of transitioning with the flowers growing and then into the end. It's like a person going from victim to survivor.
Yeah.
Yes, this horrible thing may have happened to you and it like hurt you,
that's a
but
great
you
point.
take your power back and you are now a survivor of that. You're living, you're healing, you're growing. Like it's giving you the power back as a survivor. Which I think is important.
And I think we really like show that on my specific vignette, how like I say that part, I am a survivor. And when we were filming, it's like I did it a couple times until it's like I kind of access like the anger of it.
Yes.
And like that's the shot that we end up using.
I love that.
And then it's like we use my setting as kind of the transition into the end part where it's like I wake up in like the field of flowers, but it's like there's also still it's like reminiscent of where it was before. It's not like everything's changed and like, well, the past is over, never happened. It's like there's still some of that symbolism there. But it's like the handprints are gone. Like you're not broken and damaged forever. You don't have to live with this like black mark on you forever. And then also like wearing the white dress is to symbolize purity because no one can take what's under your skin. Like you're not just damaged and broken now. And like, it's like that hope and healing for the future. Even like the white dress, like future relationships, like marriage, like you're not just like doomed in relationships forever too.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times we expect ourselves to just like move on and we're gonna like get confused because like, why can't we just move on from things without like and just get over it? But it's really, I think in life, we move forward carrying the things that we've been through and they get easier over time, but nothing changes the things that have happened to us, but we can move forward with them instead of trying to like just like
Run away
move
from them.
on and pretend it never happened because it did happen, but you got through it and you survived it.
Or be like crushed under the weight of that being your new identity.
Yeah.
So it's like you can accept this happened to me and it means these different things for me now, but it doesn't redefine who I am as a human and my worth as a human. That's what I'm really trying to get across here.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to go over, add before we move into the ending part from the like bridge area?
From the bridge area,
Soft chorus, we kind of got into that too.
yeah. I think for one thing for me, at least symbolically, was just the idea that like it's very apparent in nature that like growth comes from decay. Like if a tree falls in the forest or whatever, like mushrooms start growing on it and then it like decomposes more and then like little flowers and moss and it all grows up and up. So I think the like, I don't know, the way that creation like naturally accepts destruction for growth.
I love it.
So
I love that.
Also, note that you foraged in the forest for many
I was
flowers.
going to say, we have to talk about the fact that he was, foraging. That was a big one.
Yeah.
He was just out, this is 2 different days.
He went into the front yard and ripped branches off the trees. He was like, it was dead. It was dead. It was like,
it was
We gotta
dead.
get this, we gotta get this.
Yeah.
We need to put these up in the front.
Picking
We can really
flowers.
see them.
because some of them are fake, but a lot of it's
Yeah,
real.
it's like a
because
mixture of
someone
fake and real.
is a gardener.
Yeah.
Like, nobody had allergies.
A forest
too bad
fairy.
from it,
Oh,
but-
She does.
I did.
Yeah, yours had the most real stuff. So
Yeah, I was like sitting there, I was like, but it's fine.
Whoopsies.
We got through it.
Yeah, that was funny.
We moved forward.
Okay, so we get to the end.
Oh, I love the end.
So the end is like,
Redemption.
yeah,
Well,
hope.
we talk a lot about when we're trying to like get this concept about how this video is really about identity and how like there's kind of 3 different like pieces of that. Like the first one's kind of like other people trying to make you into something. The second version of that's kind of like these negative identities that we give ourselves. And then the ending, I think we're trying to show like this is your real identity though. Like you are like beautiful as a person and you're not like all of these things that you carry with you.
Yes, we're trying to show joy, freedom. We had a few different
And
words.
connection. Like we're not alone anymore, like we're with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, connection. You're not isolated anymore. Amy's was supposed to be laying it down at the foot of the cross, surrender.
Oh, and we had lilies to kind of
Like,
do a
shout
shout out
out
to
Lily.
Lily.
Yeah.
Aw.
I woke up like one morning, I was like, we have to have a shout out to Lisa in the video. Hello. And then I was like, oh, we need to do a lily. That's so like perfect because we have flowers in this video already.
Yeah.
And like yours were at the cross, right?
Yeah, it was
With
Yeah,
the
it's like-
candles.
It worked perfectly. And then we have the Chad shout out too, which I thought was cool.
And we have the close-ups of like the Polaroids, which Lisa's in.
So yeah, if you see
So
those
you can, like, see
Polaroids,
her in it, even though you can
love
already
that.
hear her, but like see her.
we
too,
physically
so.
have
We'll
her
have to bring
face.
her there.
Yeah.
We have her face in it, which is cool. So some different things in the end. The cape. Cap had the free cape, which
Ariel made.
was
Yeah,
really
it was-
awesome.
It was not that hard, but it was mentally very hard is the problem.
Okay.
Because as people will say, I have a little bit of a perfection problem. Some might call it OCD.
The OCD gods, they really try to get you
Um,
with those things.
And so trying to meticulously make it look perfect to me, at that the 4 words and hot gluing them took me almost 5 hours. It's fake flowers on a piece of paper. And it took me
looks
almost
amazing.
5 hours. And then the cape came in like 2 days before, 3 days before. And I put it on to test it and immediately broke it. So Catherine it's never pinned on her in the whole thing because I broke the front
But
clasp.
honestly,
But it worked.
the
But it
best,
worked. It was
yeah,
great.
The best part of it was like holding it up.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I feel like we don't even.
So it
unfortunately
worked
didn't
well,
need the
but-
That's my
clasp.
favorite part.
Yeah, just like woo,
Just a fun
freedom.
one.
I love
Oh,
that.
and the
that
one
part.
right before that,
The flower
Lauren's
sheet.
Flower
Oh,
sheet. You guys
yeah.
think we just bought a flower sheet?
No.
No.
We did not. I tried. I looked. We bought like 34, 36 strands of flowers. A lot. And we had a queen sheet. And I sat in one of our studios and hot glued it started with every third flower was getting hot glued down. Then Lauren said, it's not that deep.
I was like, girl,
well, no, then she
please
said, do
stop
you have
doing
OCD?
this. It was a question. I was curious.
And, no, it was funny. I think it's funny. And so the rest of the time I went, it's not that deep, it's not that deep, it's not that deep. And that took me about
Okay.
6 hours to glue all of them down. And I traveled with it like it was my firstborn child. So I was like, if this breaks, I will cry.
Like,
And now it's in a box. So we got
And
to
it's
put it
beautiful.
somewhere.
It is beautiful.
Oh, I love it. When I first saw the shot, I was like,
Oh, and it was so
I don't
good
care.
from Lauren
Oh,
to see.
and I have a burn about this big still a month later on the back of my leg because I touched the back of the hot glue gun and thought it was glue. And
Once
yeah.
again, same thing happened to both of us.
And
with the,
I was gonna say, I'm
horrible.
sensing
It's
some
still
injuries
this
in this
big.
video.
Oh yeah, I can give you an injury count if you want my injury count. I do know what happened. I tallied.
Oh my god. Workers' comp.
Yeah, I have 18 bruises. That will be $1 per bruise. $10 for the burn.
The C-section part, I don't really know how many people are going to get it, but whose idea was that? It was such a brilliant idea. It wasn't even my idea.
Was it?
And I'm
I
one
don't
for
know.
C-section.
It wasn't.
It wasn't
It wasn't
mine.
mine.
Okay, it was not.
It was
I think
God's
it was
idea?
No, I think it was you,
was
Ariel.
me.
I think it was.
yeah.
Wow.
You were like, "Should we do something with your C-section, whatever?"
Oh, yes.
I love that.
It was your idea.
Oh, look
And
at me.
so Ariel made that. It's like flowers with like the twine kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Floral wire, fake flowers, and ribbon.
And I hold it like basically over where my C-section scar is for a second. I feel like a lot of people, you just don't really know what that is. I didn't know what a C-section scar looked like, or maybe even that it existed for a lot of my life. Like how would you know, right? Unless you've seen one, how would you know? So I held it there to just as a, it's like a shout out to my C-section. But I just thought that was such, shout out to Ariel, first of all, for making it so beautiful. Love it. A beautiful representation. And shout out to all the C-section moms. But yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to that because it's just representation, really. You don't see it. You don't
And
see enough about C-sections.
It's a part of your story too, as becoming a mother. And I think that since we showed the rest of your journey, that it was important to kind of like shout that out because that's
Yeah.
where you started.
and we put the thing,
You know,
people that
that's
gave you the C-section in the video.
The one, Barrett.
Barrett.
And it was like, that's like the start of my postpartum depression, honestly. It was a traumatic C-section. A life-saving, saved mine and Barrett's life. Life-saving but traumatic emergency C-section.
That was wild.
So got to give a shout out to that C-section that saved our lives. Thank you.
I love
Thank
that.
you.
Love it.
So I had to give that shout out to that. And then, of course, we have my children in the video at the end. Just a little shout out,
Cuties.
which is like being on the other side of postpartum depression and like connecting with them because it can be hard to connect with your children, I don't know, when you have postpartum depression. I did not feel very connected with Barrett, and I didn't even realize how much I didn't until I had Tristan, because I actually didn't really have that problem with her, even though I still did have postpartum depression with her. But I did not feel very much connection. It was kind of concerning, but I knew that this could happen, so I wasn't too freaked out, but I was also like, I don't feel that connection that it seems like all these moms talk about, like, I'm in love with this newborn bubble, whatever. I was like, I don't exactly feel like that. But then when it came later, I'm like, okay, I see. So that was cool to have that, actually have them in the video. My mom brought them down. So that was awesome. We had the pool, Amy's favorite part.
Listen, I don't know how to
Guys,
say it for myself.
I'm always ready before them. So I walked up to this pool first, and there was millions of corpses of bugs. in
She's
there.
not exaggerating.
I picked up the pool net thing and was like vigorously trying to get them out. And then Christina took over me like, I can't do this. We tried to get as many out before we jumped in as we could, but there was still
There were
a bunch.
so many bugs.
Also, it was really cold. Like, I think Christina was like, I felt it. It's not that bad. But I feel like it's always warmer on the surface than it is in the water.
Yes.
I remember I was just like, okay, mind over matter.
Warm outside,
Mind
but it
over
wasn't
matter.
like cold.
It
but
was
wasn't
like,
awful.
yeah, I want to say it was like high 50s to low 60s.
It
mean, I was
was
in
mid
shorts.
60s, I think.
But it felt,
Yeah.
but the sun was down.
And it had been
was
cold for the weeks prior, so
Yeah.
the pool didn't heat
water
up.
was very cold.
And heating it was not exactly
an option. So we were just like, okay.
I was so
I was
confused.
like, I'm not sure I'm going to be jumping into this pool as I'm standing there. I'm like,
He's like, I'm
can't
not
do it.
doing
I
it.
can't do
I
it.
gotta say, for a second, I was like, is everyone gonna jump in?
and then somehow,
We're gonna be like, psych.
in the midst of being like, I'm physically not able to jump. Somehow my body just went,
What?
I literally was like, I don't think I can actually jump. And then my body just flew me off.
My goodness.
I was so
intense.
confused because we were like, okay, we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna jump in the pool. It's like this triumphant moment, and I feel like it was. It looks good.
Yeah, I thought it
we're all like jumping up, and then I was thinking, okay, so we did the shot. We're getting out of the pool. So I went over to get out, and then I'm like,
Yeah,
Christina
I
and Lauren
didn't
are like
realize you were,
swimming
like,
around,
for
and
a
I'm like,
while.
what's happening? I'm getting out of this pool. I gotta go. I was so confused. I was like, why are we staying in the pool?
Because I was like, we're
joy.
in the pool already, so why don't we see if there's anything we
No
need
one
to get?
told me, all right, we're gonna jump
Well,
in.
we're in the pool.
And then we're gonna just hang out in the bugs.
I think it
and
just happened as it happened.
Do you have any commentary on the pool?
Yeah, I felt bad. I felt bad the whole time.
It
'Cause
wasn't
I was
that
like-
bad.
It wasn't that
Okay.
bad.
It really wasn't. No, because we've jumped in the pool for
A
this
handful of
like
times now.
fundraiser thing we did in
December.
and that
Was bad.
I felt like I was actually gonna die. I actually did. This one, so this one was not bad.
And you had to do it for Coast Me just the same too. You,
But that wasn't
not
bad either.
everyone,
That was
but-
heated.
Oh, right.
That wasn't bad.
And
And
that
there were
was
bugs
summer.
too.
Oh my
I remember
gosh, there were
fishing all the spiders out of that pool.
Big spiders.
I remember fishing them
They
out.
were so big. They're like, and
That
I
was
was
my
like
job.
in
It was
the pool with them.
horrible.
That
Okay,
was
anyway,
my
this is
job.
not this video.
Not the point.
That was funny. I don't know. Anything else cool?
We were chasing the sun.
Yeah.
Time crunch. That
It was
for
good, it
that
was
whole
fun.
day. So Christina, Lauren, and all of the outside stuff was filmed in one day. And so we had to start at the crack of dawn so we could film everything and have enough time and still have the sun for them to jump in the pool.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't film that earlier and then go film outside. We had to film that last,
Yeah.
which made me a little stressed all day, but it was
worked out.
we
It
were
worked.
perfectly timed somehow.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, the pool part was actually fun.
No, it was.
Yeah,
not.
we know it was fun.
It was
for
actually
you.
It was fun
fun.
for Christina for sure.
Christina
Okay,
was like
no
doing
one else
flips,
liked it.
Agree to
jumping off
disagree.
the wall.
Because you adjust, and then it was fun. Okay,
I thought it
moving
was
on.
thrilling.
It was cute.
It was really fun.
Is there
Okay.
any like symbolism with the pool or anything?
I
I wasn't there when the pool
Would
was
you say?
incepted.
New life.
Wait, did we
Rebirth.
think of that before we thought of where we were shooting, or did we know where we were shooting and think of that?
We did want a pool.
Yeah, I think originally in
And this
my
was
mind,
perfect.
I was going to have you guys jump in like a lake or a pond. I don't think anyone would have done that. But, or it depends on
I
the
would've
lake or
been
the
team
pond.
lake.
But
That
like,
might have ruined
you
my
know.
clothing, though.
Yeah, well, that's like a stressful
See,
thing with
that's
shooting
where
the
I'd
pool
draw
in
the
general. Is
line.
it's like there's no
Lake.
second take.
Yeah.
Like if I
Yeah.
misfocus or I'm in like a place where I don't like
Yes.
the frame, like
That was
I
That's
can't
it.
like
That is-
magically blow dry everyone's clothes in 5 seconds. So
Yeah, that is true.
I was a little scared come pool time.
Thank goodness.
I
it
think
worked.
though we wanted to do the pool because I feel like there's something so like alive about like
Yeah.
coming out of the water. I mean, when you're a baby
Yeah.
in the womb, you're in
Love
water.
water.
Like I
Love
just
it.
feel like something about being in water just captures like the human essence.
It does.
Also,
Love it.
I love the shot of Christina. Was that Lauren
Mhm.
pulling her out?
As if
Yeah,
I could
I
do
love
that.
That was.
it.
I feel like that was very symbolic. It was like she's
Yeah,
reaching
that
out.
was cute.
Yeah, that was cool.
Sisterhood.
I like that shot.
Okay.
Usually I'm all for jumping into the pool with my clothing and everything, but that was not the day.
I
for
do
that
in summer.
mentally.
I like it in summer.
And then
In a clean pool.
the very end, let's go to the very end of the vid.
What is
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't know this was going to be the end of the vid until he chose to be the end. The Band-Aids with the flowers
That is
being
I love that.
the very end. Oh, that just,
It was a nice
that
surprise.
just got me.
I love that.
love it so much. So we mentioned self-harm in the second verse. So I really wanted there to be some kind of representation, something about it in the video. So as they know, I mentioned this like 10,000 times. We have to do the Band-Aids. We can't not do the Band-Aids. That was inspired by a picture you had found, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, this is so good. This is such a beautiful
Visual.
yeah, it's so amazing. And especially like in our career, since You're Worth It, I would say, I was talking about this the other day.
Yeah.
We've just had so many, just thousands of young girls message us about self-harm specifically and say, I've never told anyone this, or come to our concert and be like, this is the first time I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt. Like these incredibly powerful, painful, just incredible experiences, things messages we receive, whatever, all that different stuff. So that, like self-harm in general, it just really hits me really hard. I think we talked about this in the other video, but I put that part in the song about self-harm. It's just something that, yeah, it just really hits me really hard. And I mean, I even talk about that a lot of times in the You're Worth It speech. Actually, I don't know if I say it. I'm thinking of that when I do the You're Worth It speech in concert. That's one thing I'm thinking of. So it's become like a big part for our song You're Worth It as well in concert when we do it. We say, You're worth it. Your scars will never hold you back. So a lot of people, I think when Lisa wrote that, she was thinking of like emotional scars probably, but then it turned into like a lot of people using that to mean like their physical scars, which was really, I didn't see that coming, but that became like a big part of our concert experience for You're Worth It. So that just meant a lot to me to have that in the video and to have it as like the last thing that you see. Oh, it's just so
It really hit.
powerful. So I just want to point that out. I think that's just one that if you know, you'll see it and you'll know, just like the C-section one, another scar one. So it's like, if you know, you know, if you don't, you won't. Okay. But yeah, that was really important to me. So I'm really happy we have it. And that was
me.
Ariel's arm. Your arm and hands really had a starring.
They really
I
did
know.
star.
I made a joke the other day. I was like, wow, my hands are the star of the intro of the whole video. And I guess the closing too.
Yeah, it's really cool. And that's another thing to mention. Like the beginning we have the hands and the end we have the hands was like a purposeful thing.
Oh, and the flowers
Little
passing
bookends.
off too with the hands at the end.
With the syringe
To
in the
match.
beginning.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, we're showing like the hands basically kind of like
a character that also comes
yeah,
full
it's like a
circle in
negative
weird way.
pressure doing harm type of thing beginning because it's like the pressure to change like we talked about in the beginning. But in the end, it's like healing and hope. Empowerment. The
love
three
that.
things we're trying to get across.
I love it.
Wow.
What a day.
That was a lot. And
What
we're
a
not even
video.
done with this episode, but we're almost done. Okay. Well, that was great. So let's go to the next section.
Oh,
That was the video
This is a
explained. And honestly, there's probably more stuff.
There's so
I
much
bet
more.
you
So
thought of
much
a million
more.
things.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll probably be like, I thought of this and I thought of that. And I thought of
William,
this.
let's do our own episode. The two of us take over the channel and we just go through everything.
You think you'd have more to say than me? Because I was a ghost for 2 weeks while
Nobody
I was...
has more to say
No,
than
it
were a
William.
was.
ghost.
I wasn't a ghost, but I was... No, it was like a ghost. It's like a little phantom visit when you like a little 10-minute phone call. I was working on... I don't know. I
Other
was working on
things.
another project, yeah. And I was out of town right before this, so that was fun.
But we could literally do a whole second episode on this, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe
Well,
we'll
you
just
won't
get
get
more
it.
on this. We'll see. Who knows? Who could know? Okay, so
Who could
let's go
ever know?
to our 5 perspectives. So now it's our 6 perspectives, although it's been our 4. So we're going to do our 6 perspectives today, where we all give our perspective on a topic, question, whatever. And this is, what is your favorite lyric in the song Skin? Which I don't know because I picked 3.
Just pick one. Mine is "You are more than what's under your clothes,"
I was gonna RT
which
that.
I wrote that. Just saying.
Yeah, I agree.
You did?
Yep.
I didn't even know that.
RT fave.
did.
That one.
I did not.
I thought it might be too like
Of
edgy.
course you
and
did.
that you guys would veto it.
Of course. Okay, Lauren always writes lyrics that are shockingly dark or edgy to me. They're not in a bad way, but they're just shocking. Like, I always think, like, oh, I can never say something that dark or edgy.
Well,
she always does
that's
it.
what you're gonna say.
I feel like it's just very factual. It's like,
Well, yeah, I like
No,
it.
it's
Your
great.
clothes, your body.
No, that one's not shockingly dark or
It's
edgy.
poetic.
It's just very Lauren because she likes to like go there with her lyrics, which I
does.
love. But it's just shocking. I don't know if you'd expect that from Lauren. Like,
Wow.
well, what kills me is the same. It's like
Yeah, the
kills
knives.
the freaking knife.
The knives.
Yeah,
or
I'm like,
knife,
are we
one
really
knife.
doing that? Yeah. Fall onto your knife, she says. Okay, is that not shockingly dark and edgy? Yes, it is, I think.
It is.
I would not write fall onto someone's knife, but I love
No, it's
love
great.
that lyric. But I would never think of that.
Just going for the drama, you know.
Yeah, I love
drama.
it. Wow, I should have known. That was okay. So anyway, who else has a fave lyric?
I RT'd hers.
Okay, RT.
I've been thinking about this since we wrote this episode yesterday. And I don't fully know, but the one I'm going to go with is you are more than hurt. You are seen and known.
Oh.
That's
I like
really
that one.
sweet.
Because every time I hear it when I'm watching the video, it punches me in my gut. So
love
I
it.
feel like that means it's my favorite.
I love it.
I love that.
I love it.
I don't know if it's just the lyric. It's just in the song. Every time this part comes on, I get kind of like a choke in my
chill.
throat, a chill. Yeah, that too. But more like I feel like I'm gonna cry in a good way. It's just in the very end of the song when I say they'll never take what's under your skin, and then Lisa I think says, or you.
Me.
Yeah.
They'll never break what's under
Oh,
your skin.
yeah,
I don't know. Those
that's
two,
great.
it's just like they'll never
Yeah,
take
see
it.
Yeah, how am I supposed to pick? I don't have a favorite.
Okay. Just recite the whole song.
Okay, I'll just
ready,
say
go.
the biggest
We have
choke
time.
that I get is in the obviously second pre, when it goes, if I'm already broken and everyone knows
Oh,
it,
yeah.
then why should I be alive? And then it goes, cuz
Yes.
Oh.
you are
Oh,
more
the
than
cuz
skin.
really
That's my
comes
second
through.
Did you
favorite
come up with
for
the
sure.
cuz?
Yeah, I was like, we
Oh,
have to
I
say
love that.
cuz.
I love the cuz.
Oh, yeah, so
love
that
that.
gives
It
me the
adds a
biggest
lot.
choke, obviously.
I love it.
What about
Okay.
you?
Will I?
And do a half lyric.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I'll say the full lyric, but I think specifically your pain's inconvenient,
Oh.
and then he didn't. Because I think
Painful.
anyone who's gone through
But also,
That was me.
anything traumatic, like physically or emotionally, has felt the guilt of like
Yep.
either like, oh, I'm not producing enough, like I'm not getting enough done because of my pain, or like, I'm a burden on the people around me. So
Yep.
That's really sad.
It's a really good one for depression too, because even though in that one we're talking specifically about essay, which we'll talk about this in the episode, but yeah, it's really good one for depression. It's like your pain's inconvenience. So you're just like, oh, I don't have any pain. That's definitely that's my depression thing. I'm like, I'm good. I'm great. I'm doing so well. Actually, I think I don't even know that I'm not doing well is the thing. So I'm not lying, actually.
That ain't it.
I'm like, I feel so good. All right, well, done with the trauma sharing. Let's go to the Sister Spotlight. We put the spotlight on a different sister each week. We have Get Real with Christina, Sappy or Sassy Thoughts with Kath, Lisa's Corner, Amy's Current Crisis, or Lauren's Take. And this week, the sister is ding! Amy's Current
Hey
Crisis.
guys! So I don't have a story today. I have a list that I will roll off the top of my head, which is a list of things that I hate about being an adult.
Oh my
I'm
god.
And by adult, I mean fully self-sufficient in society. Nobody's paying my bills besides me and
Love
my
it.
bank account. Anyway, so here's the list.
buckle in, everyone.
We're gonna start off with 1. Bills. Oh, I hate them. I remember when I first started getting bills at 20, I was like crying every single time I opened the envelope. I hated it. Number 2, setting
still
up
do that?
utilities.
Yes.
Yeah, I did cry the other day.
Psyched.
But that was an enormous bill.
Okay.
It was worthy of
Okay,
tears.
that's fair.
If they're in the 4 digits, it's worthy of tears, guys.
Yes.
Number 2, setting up utilities. Ugh, hate it. Oh, another thing that I hate. Official paperwork. Oh, nothing scares me more. I don't know why, but it's so
Like when it comes
scary.
with a seal on it.
Any
the
kind
stamp.
of like thing that I have to fill out that's like official for like the government or some sort of thing. It's so scary. I hate it. Oh, insurance of any kind. I hate it. I hate it. We don't even need to go in because you already know. Oh, calling places to figure out what you need to do to get something fixed or blah, 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 blah. All the millions of things you need to do as an adult. Blech, hate it. Oh, number one hate is taxes. I hate them. No offense to the government. Yada, yada, yada. Caesar, whatever. Give him one, blah, blah, blah. But I hate it. They're so disturbing and stressful and sad. I hate it. Oh, what was the other thing? Oh, anything related to the doctor. Not that I can't. I do it all. Blah 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 blah. But anything related to figuring out stuff about the doctor and then paying for it. Oh, hate it. Absolute hate. Oh, did I say grocery shopping? Because that's up there. And meal planning for myself. I'm so bored. I'm like, I can have stir fry every week for so long. I don't know. No one's there to make me food. I have to be there to make my own food.
True.
Where is the justice in that? And I could probably think of a lot more, but yeah.
You basically hate everything about being a
Yeah.
Is that what I'm
More
seeing?
just the things that you have to do to be self-sufficient. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
You're
hate it
doing
all.
a great job,
Love
though.
it.
Yeah, you are. Great job.
Thank you. No investments too. Those are scary. Everything is scary. Anyway, running your own financial life, scary. I don't know how to do it. Anyway, but that's why we have Alex. Yeah. So this list is gonna get really long, so I'm just gonna end it here. And know that if you hate those things too, we hate them together.
Love it. Love it. Love
So
it.
you're not alone. Yeah.
Great,
Love
great,
it.
great, great, great.
Okay.
Well,
that's
thank
all
you
I
for
gotta
that.
say.
I love that list. Love it. That was funny. It was good.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you guys for supporting us. You guys are the best. We appreciate you so much. And I want to give one more shout out to Ariel and William. Thank you guys so much
Hey, thank you guys.
for being on the episode today.
Thank you
and
for having me.
all your hard work in the video. It was so great to have our team all of us together had so much like passion and intention. And it wasn't, we've done videos with different people and it's like, you don't always have everyone on your team like genuinely like really caring about the message and everything. So it was really cool that you could just tell they put so much passion and effort into this project. And I think that's a huge reason why it turned out so amazing. So thank you guys. And thank you guys. And can't wait to read your comments on this episode. I'm really
so
curious
excited.
what you guys are going to say. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
You've been listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Facebook and Instagram.